Done right, hash browns may be the most fantastic fast food breakfast item ever created. They're hot, they're crispy, and they almost never need ketchup. Plus, they come in fun shapes. Done wrong, though, yuck. So where should you go to get your hash brown fix? Imagine a bag full of sizzling hot golden hash browns featuring an impossibly light and crispy exterior, a delicately fluffy yet moist interior, and an ever-so-slight dusting of salt to round out the natural potato flavor. Now picture the exact opposite, and you'll know what to expect from Carl's Jr. These aren't crispy and fluffy, they're crunchy and dense. They're the oatcakes of hash browns, woefully lacking in anything resembling substance, let alone taste. Also, the potatoes appear to be mashed, and mashed potatoes are about as exciting as dirt. It's actually possible this will make you mad at Carl's Jr. After all, this is a place that's also been associated with Fruit Loop mini donuts, so it's not like they're opposed to a little weirdness on the menu and, flavor. The one consolation is that they only cost a little more than $1. Next. We have to hand it to Dunkin. They do try, as you can see by the flecks of herbs in their hash brown circles. According to the Dunkin blog, the signature to their seasoning profile is a proprietary blend of sage, garlic, and parsley, among other untold ingredients. They also claim to source their potatoes from the U.S. Northeast and Pacific Northwest, adding how cool this is. What's not cool is how they taste suspiciously thawed out from a previous frozen state. Hash browns shouldn't taste like something that flatlined and got deep-fried back to life. The crispiness is there, but there's a definite lack of fluff. They're even slightly bendy, and bendy food just doesn't taste fresh no matter how many herbs you put in it or how much you dress it up. So the next time you're at Dunkin', do the smart thing and get yourself a warm, sugary donut instead. Del Taco's hash browns taste exactly like what you might think, an afterthought. They're also called hash brown sticks, a word that should not be applied to most types of food. Sticks are small and dry, and they definitely don't stay fresh. Maybe it's psychological, but these feel pretty small and dry as well. But they are fairly crispy, and crispiness is generally acknowledged to be the signature of a good hash brown. We just wish they'd make them a little heartier and a little more potato-y. In the meantime, it's best to stick with, well, what they do best.
Do tacos get any more kick butt than this?
Speaking of Mexican fast food restaurants with mediocre hash browns you may not have known existed, there's Taco Bell. Yep, Taco Bell also does breakfast, including hash browns. They had to do something. There's a whole morning crowd out there to feed, and nobody eats burrito supremes at 8 a.m. They eat eggs and potatoes. So like Del Taco, Taco Bell is simply supplying a demand, except with no taste or imagination. Their hash browns are bland, slightly mealy, and as dry as the paper they come in. Also kind of thin. Seriously, it's Taco Bell. Would it be so wrong to want a little bit of grease or a lot more salt? They're seriously underwhelming, but hey, at least they're only $1. Burger King calls them, quote, a blissful breakfast favorite, but this is clearly marketing mumbo-jumbo and not at all indicative of what these nugget-sized hash browns taste like. Yes, they're crispy, but they're also tragically plain and curiously not even that potato-y. That's what happens when you use no seasonings whatsoever except salt, which doesn't really count. Salt is a given. This is fast food. And that brings us to a huge problem. A medium serving of Burger King's hash browns actually contains 580 milligrams of sodium. That's roughly a quarter of your day's sodium intake down the drain, all for 10 ultimately flavorless deep-fried nuggets. Pass. Just stick with the coffee. People are obsessed with Chick-fil-A, and for good reason. It's some darn tasty chicken. Again, chicken. The hash browns are a different story. For one thing, they come in a box, which only works if you eat them right away. Wait any longer and you'll have what amounts to a sad pile of shredded potato balls that have lost their crisp. There's also an unidentifiable graininess to them, almost like dirt, and that's a texture that's just super weird. Ultimately, it's a shame these don't have a little more flavor. With a bit more love and attention, it wouldn't be hard to elevate these sides to the same level as their chicken, and that would be amazing. Generally speaking, cafeteria food is pretty much the worst. It's notoriously boring, not to mention gross. There's not a reason in the world for a restaurant to invoke the heyday of cafeteria food because in reality, there wasn't one. Tater Tots, however, are the exception. The name alone makes us smile. And Sonic's Tots are awesome. These little cylinders are lightly crispy on the outside, flaky on the inside, and beyond delectable. But what really makes these so great is that they're simple, delicious, and possibly most important of all, they're so filled with nostalgia they're guaranteed to take you to your happy place. Crazy, right? But just for a moment, forget the rest. McDonald's hash browns are ridiculously perfect. They're a handful of slightly sweet, buttery potato bits dipped in magic and enveloped in magnificence. One bite will simultaneously zing you back to being 10 years old again and make you grateful to be at an age where no one can tell you anymore you're not allowed to eat at McDonald's. They're the standard to which all other hash browns should be measured. Although what makes them so fantastic isn't exactly measurable. Is it some kind of special salt? Or maybe the beef flavoring they use in the fry oil? Are they made with a secret recipe of exotic seasonings only known to a few select people in the upper echelons of the McDonald's organization who have undoubtedly signed non-disclosure agreements? Whatever it is, they're what you call inspired. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.